Portugal real estate investments. Regional information on Portugal. Portugal, being one of the oldest nations in Europe, is a great place to visit with a lot of history. The country is bordered on the west side of the Iberian Peninsula between the Atlantic Ocean and Spain. Portugal has a fantastic climate and is a sunny country with diverse geographic features which have turned it into a favorite destination for not just holidays but also golf, water sports, wind sports, wine visits and city trip locations to Lisbon and Porto. The country is split up in a few regions, namely, Porto and the North. Porto, which is classed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, is the city important and famous for its wine and port wine. The Douro River is the longest in northern Portugal and comes down the mountains until the Atlantic Ocean near Porto. There are fantastic river cruises now available to enjoy this scenery. Furthermore, some unique properties are for sale with Douro views and beach views along the North Portugal beaches. For most foreigner purchasing real estate in North Portugal, the city of Porto will be the main hub. Further north, small villages will make interesting trips to see the real and traditional way of living. Old medieval castles and convents are dotted along with manor houses all along the north. Beirut, the centre of Portugal, is referred to as Beirut, which is south of the Douro and north of the Tagus River. The region runs from the Atlantic coast with temperate climate to mountains with forest. Important historical towns as Coimbra, Aveiro, Viseu, Garda and Castelo Branco will be mainly looked for by local buyers hunting for a permanent residency. On the coast, interesting real estate with sea views can be found in places like Aveiro, Lisbon and Tejo area. Lisbon is currently one of most favourite city trip destinations in Europe, a superb capital where you can enjoy still local and traditional eateries or enjoy the beaches of Cascais and Estoril. Lisbon has a lot to offer for all tourists, and real estate is currently picking up at a fast pace. From luxury penthouses in Greca to renovation properties in Bairro Alto, there is something for all budgets to be found. With the port, marinas and beaches nearby, really a remarkable capital city. Sintra is another place to put on the visit list, a marvelous village in the mountains with views towards the coast. Enjoy a game of blackjack in the Estoril Casino or visit the Cascais Marina. Both prime locations for real estate investments in mainly the higher price brackets. With a Mediterranean climate and Lisbon on the doorstep, always a favourite with foreign real estate buyers. North from Lisbon you will find the Silver Coast area with beach locations like Nazaré, Luria, Abidos and more to find really well located and well priced real estate for sale. Favourite with a wave surfing community, there is also a growing community of overseas buyers investing into Silver Coast property. Alentejo dotted with old castles, this is a really great place to spend a few days, from the rugged coastline to stunning cities like Évora. Most will know Alentejo from their fantastic wines, great food and friendly people. The Alentejo has a lot of farmland and vast plains which become less inhabited and sunnier when going south. Alentejo is a large province which is scarcely populated. Visit Artiga wineries or Old Pausadas to stay a few days and experience the countryside living. Foreign buyers looking to find a home in Alentejo will be mainly looking for large farms, ardigas, wineries and other opportunities to attract tourism like boutique hotels and bed and breakfast properties. We have a nice selection of special real estate for sale in Alentejo, Algarve, the most known province for golf, beach, tourism and best climate in Europe. Why look further and join us in the sunny south of Portugal? In the Algarves, besides tourism activities, also a lot of history to discover, from the Arabic settlers, castles, old manor houses and churches. The Algarve has much to offer, from the hills of Montique, Cordillera to Espanjaco de Cao to the ocean. The Algarve has long been a favourite with many expats looking for a place under the sun. It's a safe place to invest in real estate, and with prices being at an affordable level, a good time to invest now. Interesting figures on Portugal. Portugal is located in Western Europe, bordered by the Atlantic Ocean and Spain on the other side. Portugal has various islands belonging to its territory like Madeira and the Azores, as well as some uninhabited islands in the Atlantic. The Romans and later the Arabs have occupied the country for a fair few years between the years of 711 to 1249. Mainly the Algarve still has traces of the Arab influences in building but also in the food. Think big, they must have thought in 1494 when half of the world belonged to Portugal. The Portuguese Empire was one of the longest lived ones with almost 600 years. Former colonies belonging to Portugal were Macau, East Timor, Brazil, Angola and Mozambique. Funnily enough, many of the former colonies are now buying up prime real estate in Lisbon, Oporto and the Algarve. Portugal's capital is the city of Lisbon, which is one of the most favourite city trip destinations in Europe and definitely worth to visit. Portugal is a republic and a member of the European Union, United Nations, Schengen Area, NATO, WTO and OECD. Portugal has the cape that is located on the most western point in Europe. Most think it is Sagres in Algarve, which is not the case. It's actually Cabo de Roca. The Vasco da Gama Bridge in Lisbon with 17.2 kilometers is actually the longest in Europe. Portugal has one of the largest economic zones in Europe, covering 1.727.408 km2. Portugal has a Mediterranean climate and is one of the warmest in Europe. The Algarve has a similar climate to Southern California. Want to visit a hot spot? Visit Amarilija, which is the hottest location in summertime, reaching temperature records of 47 Celsius. Why are foreigners buying in Portugal? The climate is probably in the top 3 of important factors. We have 2,500 to 3,200 hours of sunshine a year, with 4 to 6 hours in the winter and 10 to 12 hours in the summer. Ocean water on the west coast can be chilly with temperatures from 13 to 18 Celsius. The Algarve on the other hand can reach temperatures up to 26 Celsius. Portugal produces half of the world's cork. One of the oldest universities in Europe is located in Coimbra and established in 1290. Portugal has over 800 km coastline and plenty of beaches to enjoy. Healthcare information in Portugal. Hospitals. Portugal has an extensive healthcare system throughout the country with health centres and hospitals available. Healthcare in Portugal has minimal costs and is available to all citizens of Portugal and EU residents. As the public system can be overcrowded, a private medical insurance is advisable. Centro de Saúde. The government has health centres in most cities where you can make appointment for non-urgent procedures. All Portuguese residents are entitled to basic health care, which include medicine, GP appointments and the like. Most medicines are part sponsored by the government, and as user you pay a small fee to purchase these. When moving to Portugal and becoming a resident, you will need to apply for a medical card at your local health centre, which you will need when making appointments for medical assistance. Under European law, if you are living in an EU member state, you can use the health centres and hospitals. For UK residents, you will need an E111 form. Pharmacies throughout the country. There are lots of pharmacies which are generally open from 0900 to 1900, excluding lunch break 13.00-1500. Contact details of 24-hour service and weekend service are listed on the pharmacy's door. Travel information on Portugal. Traveling to Portugal has become quick and easy and affordable, with many of the budget airlines like Ryanair and EasyJet flying into Portugal's main airports. There are 3 major airlines from north to south: Oporto, Lisbon and Faro for the Algarve. Intercontinental flights will mostly arrive in Lisbon. From here they will be connecting flights to, for example, the Algarve. From most European capital cities you can fly to Lisbon or the Algarve in 2.5 to 3 hours time. Ryanair also has a flight from Faro to Porto if you want to make a day trip to the north of the country. Via ferry boat from the UK to Spain's Santander connection and then via road connection. Portugal has a good quality motorway system which nowadays has become all toll roads. The toll road system is a mix of the traditional toll booth system to a futuristic e-toll system where you would need to acquire or hire an electronic device. Most visitors will opt to hire a car to explore the country. The public transport system in mainly the backland or inland destination can take a fair bit of time and there might not be many buses leaving every day. Rental cars are affordable and a good way to explore Portugal.